Hello, fellow useless people. Welcome to the Useless Corner podcast. It is me, Shanathan, here with the Boost Juice Finn. As always, say hello, Finnegan Fox.
Hello.
Yes, hello. That wasn't super creative, but it's different, so yeah.
Fair enough. So, Shan, what you been up to today?
Well, you see, I was supposed to have therapy today, but then the power went out, so
Not fun.
it ended up rescheduled. So during the time the power was out, I fell back asleep. Woke up at like 3:30. Then we had to go to grab dinner, and now I'm here. So that's all I've done today.
Gotcha. Fair enough.
What about you?
Let me see. I haven't done that much today. I did some for funsies stuff in Vroid. Made like a concept design for, since they're almost forgotten. I guess not that. The universe cluster I created, there was more gods than just Akra and Hitori. So I made a concept design for another one.
Gotcha.
Not that it'll be used, just, if someone were to ask, oh, hey, what other types of gods are in here? I guess, here's one. Or maybe in like an OVA. I don't know, man. Who knows? But I made one for funsies.
Nice.
And then I was just watching Pokemon videos and playing a game in the background. Or I guess the video was in the background, the game was in the foreground. You get my point.
Yeah, I get you.
That's pretty much all I've done today. So not much, but, this is my break week. Last week and this week are going to be my break week. So, I don't feel bad for not doing anything.
Fair enough, man.
Plus, I think everyone who's talked to me in the past week knows that I need a break pretty badly.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But, yeah, I can get us started with the topic. Some of these probably will go very quickly. One of these might not. The others probably will. Here's an interesting question that I just randomly thought of. Would you be friends with yourself?
No.
And I'll clarify. As in, like, this, it doesn't have to look like you, but it has to have your exact same, like, personality and everything.
I'd probably say no. I'd probably find myself annoying. Could you imagine just like being in a call with someone just shouting Glizzy all the time and singing "Time to be a Big Shot" over and over? Like, how could anyone be friends with someone like that? I don't. Yeah, no.
I could.
Yeah, that's the joke.
So you don't think you'd be friends with yourself?
See, I see some pluses and minuses to myself here.
Alright.
I feel like I could be funny. And if, it's my personality, I'd find the same things that I myself would find funny, because it's me. But I would also hate the same parts about myself. And I'd have to deal with it twice as much. So, yeah, I don't know.
I think I could definitely be friends with myself. I don't think that's much of a surprise, though.
Yeah?
I mean, I make myself laugh all the time. So I definitely think, it's not, and this is not like an ego thing. I just, I just, I just think the trait that people know me by the most, whether it's for the better or for the worse, is, funny, haha. And I think you know, I think there would be times where I would be annoyed with, I don't want to call it a clone of me, but like a clone of my personality. But I think for the most part, it'd be fun.
Fair enough.
I definitely do think though that if I was IRL friends with myself, I would hate him.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know. Be yeah, nah. I could be online friends. Well, then again, I just concept of IRL friendship is now like so foreign to me that it's almost like not appealing at all. So it doesn't matter if it was me or whatever.
I feel like
I mean,
even if
I haven't had IRL friends in like 5 years, so it's like the concept of
Yeah.
it's just like it's foreign to me, and it's because it's foreign, I just don't like it. I would not know how to be friends with someone IRL, especially considering I'm locked in my room all the time, 24/7.
I like to imagine, like, oh yeah, if I went outside, I would just be nice to everyone and I'd become friends with some people, right? But I feel like I just would not even be able to say anything without stuttering 50 million times, and they'd be like, what the frick is wrong with that guy? So,
I can
yeah,
talk
I agree.
normally to people, IRL. Well, nowadays I can. Within the past year, I've gotten really better at least faking that I don't have social anxiety.
That's what the
Sometimes,
mask is.
yes. Uh, sometimes I, get a little more nervous than others, but for the most part, I think I do decent. But it's just that I wouldn't go out of my way to talk to someone, and I don't look like the most approachable person either, so it just wouldn't work.
I definitely don't look approachable. I'm a fat guy, so no one would want to come to me.
I'm just tall and kind of intimidating looking.
Yeah, especially if you put on your glasses.
And I think I look a lot more approachable like that. What do we call that? Goon Man? Yeah, it was Goon Man.
Yeah, Goonman Finn.
uh, yeah. Um. Yeah, I don't know. I think being online friends with myself would be fun, especially because, like, you know, that would mean I have a friend who loves the same games as I do, who could play them all the time.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Fair enough.
But in this current meta of Finn, it would also mean twice the gamer rage.
Yeah, that's a bit of an issue.
Yeah. It'd be like that sometimes. All right. Well, I kind of figured that one might be a short topic.
Yeah.
Okay. This one is kind of weird, but I just thought of it randomly again. The last one was pretty normal. This one's a little weirder. So, like, a normal guy thing to do is, like, to just, like, take a piss outside if there's not a bathroom in sight, right?
If you're any guy other than me, yes.
Yes, if you're unlike you, who has to sit because you're, like, half woman, then...
Yeah.
And the normal guy thing to do is, like, take a piss in the woods, boy. Right?
Right.
So obviously you wouldn't have done this, but do you know anyone who's taken a shit outside?
My mom.
What?
See, we were driving like out of town for some reason a few years back, and then all of a sudden she just like went, "Oh my god, I need a poo!" Then just she ran out of the car, stopped it, and ran out, and then she just came back and she was like, "I pooped myself a bit," and then we had to go home.
What? Is your mother an orangutan?
I don't know, maybe.
Okay. So I have a story.
Anyway, I did not breathe the whole way home, just in case.
Toxic fumes. Do you have like a... This, again, a really random one. I'm just... None of these are connected in any way. I just randomly thought of topics. Do you have a favorite childhood memory? Or like, if not one favorite, then like multiple favorite ones? Or if not, like because childhood's like, I'd say like, anywhere from 0 to 12. But if you have one like later than that, that was still long enough ago, then by all means go ahead and say that one instead.
It's not super interesting, and I don't even really remember much of it. This is just... Do you know what lacrosse is?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I was playing lacrosse with my aunt back when we lived at our old place, and that was fun. And I remember the sunset was very golden yellow, and after that I got on the swings, and it was a nice breeze, and that's pretty much all I remember. So nothing super interesting.
Gotcha. Do you have any like vivid like memory of like a really good childhood memory, or?
The only memories I have vivid recollection of are bad.
Well, that's sad. But fair enough. I know I had thought of one for this, but I don't remember what it was. I know the only really good childhood memories I have, and I don't remember how old I was. I would guess I was probably a little older than child. I was like probably maybe like 14, 13, probably 13. 13 sounds about right. I was probably like 13, so. But it was when I first got back into Minecraft, but it was Minecraft Pocket Edition because I did not have a computer yet.
Yeah.
And actually, I probably was older than that. Maybe I was 14. I'm gonna guess 14. 14. That's what I'll go with. I was like 14, and I was playing with my brother, and just seeing all the new things, like the new villages, elytras, the End Islands, Shulker.
Vexes.
I don't know if I came across. I probably did.
If you had the new villages, you would have had them. Well, you would have had them, but that doesn't mean you would have seen them. So.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I know that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I probably would have seen them because I know I got into at least 1 or 2 village raids. Because we somehow our spawn was like, like 200 blocks from a village and right next to the village, and I mean like maybe like 30 blocks, 50 blocks from the village was an illager tower, so we could like easily farm raids.
Yeah.
And
It's funny when that happens. It's just like
I've never seen that before. That was the only time.
it doesn't happen a lot.
In that,
It's happened a few times to me, and it's just like, hey.
yeah, and it was in that Minecraft Pocket Edition world, and I didn't know.
Hey guys, where should we set up our camp for our mortal enemies? Let's just move in right next door. They'll just stay there. Don't worry.
Yeah, I always thought they were close by because of that one world. That was my first experience with it, and then after that, when I started playing with like you and other people, I realized, oh yeah, they're not always there. That was rare.
Yeah.
Because I've never seen one once, or I've never seen one once, never seen one anytime after that. But yeah, just experiencing Minecraft again like that. I remember the freaking massive mountain. Like we dug a cave inside of a mountain and just hollowed it out, and it was so much work, but so cool. And just I don't know, just playing Minecraft again like that with my brother. We just and seeing all the new things was so fun.
Yeah, I could imagine. When I experienced all the new stuff, I had just gone into Creative World, went into like a little. I went next to a mountain that had like a bit of a cave in it, and I just spawned all the new things. I was like, "Oh, polar bear, that is cool!" And then I spawned a Vex, and I'm like, "What the frick do I have mods on?"
Yeah, I I was very much fascinated by all the new stuff, and I don't know. It was just really cool to me.
Yeah, I thought everything was cool. I thought the Vexes were weird though.
Yeah, I think I everything that I saw I thought was cool.
It was just weird to me because, like I said, they felt like a modded thing.
Yeah, I mean, to me they didn't because like Elytras to me felt like a modded thing.
Yeah, they didn't feel like that to me because I had already experienced them beforehand.
Well, like I said, I stopped at 1.8, so
Yeah.
I played again at 1.14, so there's like 6 updates worth of things I had never seen. So it was all very like you know, a bunch of new like more fantasy stuff all was all added within all that, and Minecraft before that was pretty basic.
Yeah.
I don't know. So it's just everything seemed like really at the same level of fascinating because it was all so different.
Yeah, fair enough.
Um, yeah, I don't think I think that's probably the best like childhood memory that I had with someone. I have a lot of good memories
Nice.
of like watching Pokemon Diamond and Pearl or Pokemon.
Ah, I remember when Garmadon got possessed by the Overlord, I was pooping my pants.
Like watching Pokemon Diamond and Pearl or Pokemon Black and White because I actually slightly enjoyed that. Or the Pokemon movie. I don't know, just watching Pokemon anything.
Fair enough.
Or playing Oris for the first time. Or any of the games for the first time other than XY. XY was the least fascinating game to me that I played. It still is.
It's not that interesting.
Yeah, I like it, but it's definitely nowhere near as good as like Oris Sun and Moon or Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon.
Yeah, I thought it was good when it came out, but it's just pretty boring.
Yeah. Sadly, it really is pretty boring. But
Good thing the same can't be said for the anime, though.
oh yeah, the anime is probably either second best or best of all the different Pokemon anime. So it's kind of flip flopped.
Yeah.
Game was the most boring I played, other than Fire Red. That was not fun. But of the
Yeah.
3DS games, it was the most boring I've played. But the anime was amazing, and I can't decide if it's either the best one or the second best.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, I have a lot of alright childhood memories. Not a lot of. A few alright childhood memories, but shocker. I was alone a lot, so none of them are interesting because they're just doing things I enjoyed alone.
Yeah. I'm sure I probably have more interesting things. Maybe, I don't know. I just don't remember any.
Yeah, fair enough. Um, do you have any topics, Shane?
My power goes out so often it makes me want to die. That's my topic.
And how can you elaborate on that?
uh some guy ran into a pole and the power went out today.
That's what happened?
Yeah, my aunt saw him crashed into the pole.
Bro.
She didn't see him crash into it, but she saw the car was crashed into it.
What a clown.
Yeah. Because she had gone out to get groceries or whatever, and she saw it. And then when she came back, the power was gone, so. And she called them like, "Hey, what's up?" They're like, one of the power towers, whatever they're called, they went down. So we'll have it fixed at some point." And then it canceled my therapy session. And yeah. So that's literally all I have. Unless you want to hear me speak on the topic about how I hate how fan art makes anime boobs way too big.
We already talked about that before.
Did we? Was it on this podcast?
Not on the podcast, but we talked about it like just you and me for like
Oh, okay,
10,
yeah.
15
we did.
minutes.
Yeah, we did.
I don't know why you're so passionate about this.
Because it's so stupid.
Like, I don't know. Most of the time I don't see it as that bad unless it's like most fan art I think does a decent job, and then they just make it like maybe like you know, unless I don't know what you're seeing, because most of the fan art I see is like, I don't know.
See, the only reason why it's become an issue to me lately is because when it's happened to pretty much any other character, it's been reasonable. But with Rem, they just like double it. And that's like 90% of the fan art. I want fan art that has canonically accurate chest sizes. This is the dumbest sentence I've ever said.
Yes, it is. Well, like, I don't know. I've never had an issue with it at all. I only have an issue with like and I rarely ever see this. I should see more of things with like NSFW fan art, which I don't really look at that often. I usually just look at like cute fan art, but usually they're like somewhat reasonable, and it's very rare they like make it like super big, like, you know.
See, it bothers me because like Rem is probably the most popular of the characters that I have as a waifu, other than like Megumin. But you know, Megumin, obviously they can't make that too big because, yeah. But it's just because like, you know, they're just doing it because they're trying to make the character hotter for their perspective. They're just wanting to get off to it or whatever, and it's just like, bro, I just want nice fan art. Why?
I don't know, man. I remember we talked about this. I looked it up, and most of them seemed all right. There were a few instances, but to me, for the most part, it was fine.
See, I get most of my fan art from either the subreddit for the character or from Zero Chan, and both of those have lots of oversized boobies.
I just looked up Google Images. That's what I did.
Yeah, on Google Images, a lot of them are better, but it, it's like you only get a small amount of what is offered from Google Images. So I mainly worry for the anime girls since it looks like their backs are going to be broken. Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. I never seem to have an issue with that. Like we talked about it before, and I was like, Kurumi Tokisaki is probably the most thirsted for anime waifu. Yet she always has accurate proportions.
Yeah, like I said, this is the first time it's been an issue for Rem, because like the other characters that I look at, either they get it accurate or they sized it up just because they felt like it. It's not like 90% of it. Most of the fan art is just normal, but with Rem, it's just like, nope, all of them gotta be like F cups. Like, why?
Yeah, and like Nino's are usually sized up, but it's like...
Yeah, but she already had pretty big, so it's not
and I just don't care either. Unless they make it like abnormally big, then...
That's why I don't care as much when it happens to Miku, because Miku already was decently sized. But I've shown you the official not the official concept. The reference images for Rem, and it's like, bro, you guys are really pushing it here.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like every anime piece of fan art is I don't know. They all seem to go by like this the same for the most part. Like one artist does it this way, and then the rest of them do it the same way.
Maybe I'm just not finding the good artists.
Because a lot of the anime fan art I see is like they're all like in a certain way. And it makes sense. I mean, if you think about it, all not all, but all like when it comes to song animations, all FNAF SFMs are more or less all in a certain way. They could be done differently, but because it's kind of been the same trend forever, if they're done a certain way.
I guess to me that's different, but
I don't know. To me, any form of art, like fan art, because I guess FNAF SFMs are technically by definition fan art. Any sort of even fan music is technically fan art, isn't it? Anyways, getting off topic. Any form of fan art, usually like one popular or semi-popular person does it one way, and then everyone else seems to do it the same way. And sure, you can add your own touch and spin to things, but you can like clearly draw out some similarities.
Yeah, it's just I don't want to see back-breaking scoliosis developing anime chests when that is not how the character is designed. If that's how the character is originally designed, whatever. But stop doing it to characters that aren't like that, please. At least, well, I shouldn't say stop doing it. I should just say, like, don't have it be 90% of the fan art.
Yeah. Because, I mean, fan art's fan art. You can do it however you like.
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't have an issue with it if it was more evenly done, but, like, 90% of it is Not great. Well, not that the art is bad. It's just, you know what I mean. The art is good. I want
It's strange
accurate
that it's
titties.
only to Rem. Like,
Yeah, I
no
know,
other
it is
character.
strange. I mean, I saw it happen to Amelia too, but I feel like it's less just because Amelia's not as popular as Rem.
Gotcha.
Most people get Ram relatively, or not Ram, Rom relatively correct.
Rom-com.
Rom com. Every time I see her name, I end up saying Ram, and I'm like, nope, it's not Ram. Stop saying it wrong. Yep, I've seen the Seven Deadly Sins. I know what you're talking about. Here. 3 fan art that is incorrect. Here is one that is a lot better. Especially that second one I sent. That one is very incorrect.
Yeah, the second one's probably the worst Defender. I think the first one's alright, and then
The third one is the least offensive, I think.
I think the third one's fine the way it is. It's more of the second one that's.
God, the second one.
The first one's okay. I don't think it's that bad.
I think it's too much, but I think the third one is pushing it a bit, but it's better than the other two.
I think the third one just looks like that because she's leaning over. The second, or the second, the second one was just like definitely too much. I think the first one's pushing it, but still okay.
You know, I find it funny how I mentioned this and you're like, we already talked about this, and here we are talking about it anyway.
Listen, man, I don't have really anything else.
I thought you had more topics.
Bro, I've gone through 3.
Oh, I thought you had more than that.
I had a 4th one, but I don't really know. I can't remember if we've talked about it before or not now that I'm thinking about it.
What is
or
it?
how we go about it. It's, because we've talked, obviously we've gone through like, I think like 2 podcasts ago we went through like all the FNAF jump scares and we like talked about those. And I think like maybe 3 or 4 podcasts ago we talked about something with FNAF. I don't remember what it was though. But the thing I had written down was like talking
models. We talked about FNAF models.
Gotcha. But what I had written down was talking about each FNAF game, what we think about it, and focusing on the story elements of each.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's different than what we've done before.
Okay, and I wrote this down like 3 or 4 weeks ago, so I don't remember exactly what I had in mind. But
actually, maybe we did talk. I think we might have only talked about like Sister Location and FNAF 4, though. I don't know.
I think we talked about. Here's what I think we talked about. I think we talked about the horror elements of it only. I don't think we went through like the story elements though, or like gameplay elements of what we liked. We definitely didn't talk about the story elements. I know that.
Yeah, I know we didn't talk about that.
So I think from what I'm guessing, I wanted to go through each and give our opinion on each. And, like, say what it did good and what it did bad. And, like, what we think had the strongest story elements and what we think didn't. That was my guess. That's my guess of what I was trying to go for.
Gotcha.
So if we want to do that, we can.
Sure.
You seem unsure.
It's just because...
Oh crap, my headphones.
Oh.
Speak.
The only reason I seem unsure is because I feel like my thoughts probably won't be the most interesting or detailed thoughts, because you know how I am.
Well, I mean, the point of this is to talk a lot, so it's kind of... You kind of gotta have to, like, think a little deeper here.
Well, I can talk about the FNAF 1 ambience for sure. FNAF 1 ambience is really nice. The cramped office making you feel claustrophobic, as well as barely being able to see the monsters coming for you is nice. Especially when you can't see the camera for the kitchen and you hear the weird noises. FNAF 1 had the ambience the best to me.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I don't know which one would have the best, because they each kind of have their own.
Yeah.
I would say the later games. I'd say the later games don't have. I think the ones that would have the best ambience would be one of the first 4 games. I don't think the later games really have that same sort of thing.
For me, it's probably 1 and 4.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. 1 and 4 definitely have the best ambience.
I like 6 a lot too.
Yeah, the problem with like 6 and Sister Location is like it's a lot more like I don't know, there's some sort of like comfort aspect of like I don't know. You got like a hand unit talking to you at least.
Gotcha. Fair enough.
Or in Sister Location you got Baby guiding you along.
Even though she's a big liar.
Yeah, but it's still some form of like comfort. Like true horror only really works if you're alone. That's my opinion, at least. If you have some sort of guide, some sort of safe space, some sort of voice talking to you, it makes it a lot easier and a lot less scary to me.
Gotcha.
I don't think any really good horror game I feel like every good horror game you have to be alone.
What about the joy of creation when Michael is talking to you?
He only leaves you recordings, which FNAF 1 through 3 do as well.
Gotcha. I didn't really remember what happened, and I didn't remember if it was recordings or if he was actually talking to us.
He
So.
just pulled a phone guy. That's all he did.
Gotcha.
So yeah, you were alone in those as well.
Gotcha.
I
mean, during the night segments in FNAF 6, you're alone.
Yeah, you are, but I don't know. The fact that it's like happy-go-lucky, cheery, like the middle segment eases the tension a lot. It's not like I don't know.
Fair enough, I guess.
I don't know. The jump scares are scary. I don't think anything else about it's scary, though.
I personally find FNAF 6 the scariest.
The jump scares are scary. That's about it to me, though.
For me, it's just because, like...
I don't know.
You're causing your own screw-ups here because you gotta get the work done, and it's leading them towards you, and you can't even see where they are. You just kind of stare into a pitch-black vent, you know? It's like, something could be there, something could not be there. What are you gonna do? Ooh! And then in the salvage room, you just have to look for the very slightest of movements, you know?
Yeah.
And also the sounds in the salvage room are creepy. I don't know. I think I like FNAF 6 the most in terms of scariness out of the original 6.
Fair enough. I didn't really get scared when I played it. I remember that.
Like, FNAF 4 scares me a lot too, but that's mainly because my ears.
I don't know. I feel like FNAF 4 does the tension side of things a lot better than FNAF 6 does. They're both based on the same concept of, like, tension. Like, waiting for your inevitable demise and trying to prevent it. But I feel like FNAF 4 does it a lot better than FNAF 6. Because FNAF 6, you're getting distracted by things a lot, whereas FNAF 4, you're hyper-focusing on not dying. Whereas FNAF 6, you have to, like, put your attention to this and that and this and that and this and that, and you get distracted so much that it's like...
See, that's why I think FNAF 6 is better, because you can't just purely focus on staying alive. You have to do other stuff at the same time.
Yeah, but then that just becomes panic horror, or, like, getting startled if you're not that scared. Rather than, like, dread horror. There's no sense of dread, it's just, like, overwhelming.
Eh. I guess, I don't know, this one kind of just comes down to opinion.
Because I think,
because to me, FNAF 6 is more dread than FNAF 4. For FNAF 4, like...
I don't know, because you...
The thing I dread about FNAF 4 is having my hearing loss at 20, you know?
It's like, I don't know. FNAF 4 is like, you are focusing completely on your surroundings. And you're focusing on not dying, and that's it. Whereas in FNAF 6, you have to click a button here, click a button here, click a button here. It's more of just like task manager. It's more of just like overwhelming. It's like I don't know. I feel like it's got the same kind of vibe as like Ultimate Custom Night, just scaled down. It's just overwhelming rather than scary. I mean, the jump scares like startle you like a lot more than other games because they're out of nowhere. But getting startled more doesn't mean it's scary.
For me, it's not about being startled, because the jump scares don't really startle me much in any game. They just rip my ears off. I don't know, to me, just like, there's the tasks you have to do while also paying attention to where the animatronics are. You can't do both of those at once, and you gotta get the tasks done, because it's not a time-based system. It's based off of you trying to get the things done. And you can't actually see the animatronics, which some people think is a negative, but I think it's good, because it's a lot more like, oh, where the frick are they now, you know? And I just like staring into the big dark vent where you can't see anything. To me, just running back and forth between the doors is less scary.
Wow. I don't think we're gonna get anywhere with this, so we'd need like...
I don't think so. This one's just down to personal opinion.
We'd need like a third party to solve this.
To be fair, from what I've seen of people talk about stuff out on YouTube or on the subreddit, it's pretty 50-50 on people who think FNAF 6 is the scariest and people who think FNAF 4 is the scariest, so I don't think either of us are really wrong here. This is just depends on the style of gameplay you think is scarier to you.
Well, let's talk about, instead of focusing on one, let's talk about everything, shall we?
Yeah.
So like, what do you think are all the? Let's just go in chronological order. What do you think are the strengths and weaknesses of FNAF 1?
FNAF 1's strengths would probably just be Like I said, I think the ambience of FNAF 1 is really good. I think the designs of the animatronics in FNAF 1 are also great. It doesn't push it too far into being too kid-friendly or being too obviously set up for horror. They look like things that could be real Chuck E. Cheese animatronics, ignoring their segmented arms and stuff. And that's part of what makes it one of the scarier ones, because it goes based off of the uncanny valley feeling, which, you know, like FNAF 4 doesn't. That just goes straight into nightmare fuel. FNAF 6 also is pretty over the top with its designs, to where it wouldn't be like a realistic animatronic. Not that I think it's bad or anything. I like the designs and stuff. It's just like, you know, in terms of the feel of it all, I think FNAF 1 does it best with those.
Yeah. I mean, I do think FNAF 1's the only realistic looking one.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know, FNAF 1 is just pretty perfect overall. Like, it's not the most interesting gameplay-wise, but it didn't need to be, because, you know, it's the first game. It takes place towards the end of the timeline for the original animatronics anyway. So, I don't know, it works. And then just like the little hints towards things that were in FNAF 2, even though FNAF 2 wasn't originally planned, like Freddy playing the music box in the kitchen to calm the puppet and stuff, you know? I don't know, I like FNAF 1 a lot. It's hard to say much about it just because, you know, it wasn't planned for there to be more at the time, so it's hard to comment on the story or anything other than just, like, the vibe it gives.
Yeah. I definitely say its strength is definitely, like you said, its ambiance and its kind of sense of, like, helplessness.
Yeah.
Obviously its weakness would be its lack of storytelling.
Yeah,
And,
but, you know,
like,
since it was meant to be a one and done deal, it's kind of hard to be critical of it.
yeah, well, I mean, you can't say it has no weaknesses. We have to point them out either way. Because
Well, yeah, no.
it's unfair.
It's just like, if it had only been FNAF 1, the story would have been perfectly fine. It's just because it went onwards that it feels weak.
Yeah. But obviously weaknesses be like storytelling, pretty basic. No real
Gameplay-wise.
Yeah. Stuff like that. FNAF 2.
FNAF 2's biggest weakness is that it is not scary.
Yeah. No, it is definitely one of the least scary games.
But the designs in FNAF 2 are very cool. The withered animatronics are, like, great. When I first saw them, it just reminded me of, like, when you've seen people who have collected old Chuck E. Cheese animatronics that were supposed to be thrown away, and then they're just, like, missing pieces and all ripped up and stuff. The withered animatronics were awesome. I liked them a lot.
Yeah, I remember the first time I saw, like, a withered Bonnie. I was like, holy crap, that is horrifying.
Yeah.
Or Mango.
And then the toy animatronics were, ignoring the fact that they're all plastic, they look like they would be real animatronics from the 80s as well, so they did good there. You know?
Yeah.
The only thing that doesn't make sense is Mangle, but, you know, who cares?
Yeah, I remember Mangle. Mangle was horrifying. Specifically the one render where she's, like, in the hallway with Foxy, like, just her head's, like, peeking above.
Oh yeah, it just looks like she's got, like, a creepy clown smile staring at you.
Yeah. That was horrific. So yeah, the character designs were really good, and
I liked the design of the location a lot.
oh yeah, that too. It's definitely
It definitely added a lot of more mechanics that were cool. Like, even though it doesn't make sense that Freddy is fooled by the mask, it never really has. But
Yeah. I always wonder why was Freddy fooled by the mask but Foxy not?
Do you remember what is it called? Is it 5 a.m. at Freddy's? Was that what it was
Yeah,
called?
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Pretty sure that's Freddy. You're Freddy. That animation perfectly described to me, like, bro, Freddy, you're kind of dumb.
Yeah, I don't know. It was never. I don't know. There's like no real reason as to why, like, just or not just Foxy, but like why was Foxy fooled by the mask, but Freddy not? You'd think it'd be like all the Wizards, but Freddy would be fooled by the mask.
Yeah, exactly. I think the simple answer is Foxy was given the unique mechanic just because he was the fan favorite.
Yes. Um. But yeah, and then obviously like the addition of like the little lore mini games I think was really good. I feel like that's one thing that's like, overlooked.
Yeah, and the rare screens in this were better
I
than
totally
in
forgot
FNAF
about the
1.
rare screens.
Yeah, and then the cut scenes where you're like Freddy on stage were creepy.
Yeah, no, all the little mini games, and then like the Freddy on the stage like turning back and forth. All those were added a lot to it, and I think a lot of people forget those even existed.
Yeah, I'm sure most people do forget. Especially the rare screens, you know? Like, I'm sure people who care about theories and stuff remember the cutscenes, the mini games and the actual cutscenes with where you're
Yeah.
Freddy, but I'm sure a lot of people forget the rare screens.
Yeah. 'Cause, I've never seen or gotten myself a rare screen, so.
Yeah, I think I came across two. One was the Toy Bonnie one in FNAF 2, and then one was one of the Springtrap ones in FNAF 3. I think those are all I've ever gotten.
Yeah. But overall, I feel like FNAF 2, just in terms of strength, had a lot more. It makes sense. It was a sequel.
Yeah.
I'll take it as a
The,
prequel.
like the only thing FNAF 2 didn't do better was that it's not scary.
Yeah. But in terms of like storytelling, designs, location, I feel like it just improved upon.
Yeah.
FNAF 3, that's a can of worms.
I was gonna say, I think most people agree that FNAF 3 is the worst.
There's a lot I love and a lot I hate about it.
I love all the story parts of FNAF 3, and I love Springtrap, and it's not like the gameplay itself is bad. It's just kind of boring.
Yeah, the gameplay is boring. I will say I like the location a lot. It looks really cool. I love the fact that you have to like, in every game to that point, you just like you look you look on the camera. Okay, there they are. With FNAF 3, you had to really, really look hard to see where Springtrap was most of the time.
Yeah, especially when the ventilation goes bad, and there's the Phantom Springtrap too, so you couldn't even be seeing the real one. It could be.
Yeah, you could be tripping balls and.
Yeah. Yeah. But I do have to say, the Phantoms, the first time around, were scary.
Yeah. The first time around, they're scary. It's kind of after that, they're like, okay, well, frick yourself, go away.
Yeah.
I
think FNAF 3, in terms of story, out of the original 4, is the best one.
Yeah. No, I really loved... I liked the concept. I didn't like the execution.
Yeah.
The rare screens were just by far my favorite. I loved them. They're amazing.
I love seeing William ripping off the mask. It's awesome.
It's great. I thought it was so creepy. When I saw the rare screens for the first time, I was like, that is like the creepiest and simultaneously the coolest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah. I just
like gruesome.
Part of what I like, yeah, exactly. What I like about it is just because like it's
the only gory thing in FNAF.
Exactly. It's the most messed up thing we've seen. Like the books get messed up too, but like you don't actually get to see it. You just read it. So.
And I like the mini games. I like the fact that it was the first game to have an alternative ending.
Yeah.
And I really liked just the fact that you really had to like look on the he was like actually like, you know, you can tell he has some sort of intelligence because he's not mindless. He's like purposely hiding from you.
Yeah, and just like knowing that he's the killer that started this all is like what makes it more dreadful, because it's just like, oh, yep, no, this guy's smarter than the rest. This guy could totally kill me at any moment.
Yeah. I definitely do think, like, you know, obviously, like, the boringness of it, and just the disappointing Springtrap jump scare.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. The issue I have with the jump scares, he's like the murderous killer of all these, but he just kind of like bobs his head, and you know, I know,
and it's slow. It's not even fast.
Yeah. And
I like, you know how he has two jump scares? He has one when he comes through the vent and one when he comes through the door. I like the one when he comes through the vent more, but you like never really get to see that one.
Yeah, it's better. It's still just not that great.
Yeah, no, it's not great, but it's better.
You know, you'd think someone who, you know, murdered like X amount of children would have the most violent jump scare you've ever seen. But,
yeah.
But no, he has probably one of the weakest jump scares you've ever seen.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, it's the game I'm probably the most torn on, because I love the story of it. I love just the idea of it, but the execution was just pretty.
Yeah, I wish Scott would have taken more time on it, because I don't know if he would have actually changed much, but I feel like if he wasn't under, I know he probably felt like he had to get it out fast, just because that's how he was with the original 4 games, and
yeah,
I wonder if he would have taken more time, if it would have been better.
Yeah. So, FNAF 4.
FNAF 4! Can we just agree this is where the story screwed up?
Yeah, it was very confusing, and I don't want to say still is, but I want to say still is.
I was gonna say it still is.
I don't keep up with FNAF lore at all, and even when people tell me it, I know it's all more or less speculation.
Yep, no, anything to do with the crying child. Still no direct answer, no concrete answer. There's different interpretations of what you think happened, but we still don't know.
But story-wise, I liked where it was going. It just the story was simultaneously good and bad. Bad because it's confusing and no one knows for sure what the heck it is, and good because, well, I like the direction it was trying to take. With like it was the start of like showing like the Afton family. It was like showing like, it was giving more personality to the characters and adding more characters as well.
Yeah.
Or I should.
I just don't think
human characters, because at that point it's just about all the animatronics, and the only human character is like, you know, purple guy.
Yeah, I just can't understand how Scott thought that this would be the last game. You know, he introduces William's kids. One dies. We have no clue what even happened to him, and then that was it.
Yeah.
Not that I think Scott's bad or anything at how he did it. It's just it would never have worked as the final game. Even now, we still don't even know what the frick happened to this little turd.
Yeah. I liked where it was what it was trying to do. It's just obviously,
Like if you ignore about what the heck happens to the crying child, it's good because it sets up Michael. If you believe it set up William going on a killing spree, then you get that. It's just like just ignore where the crying child went.
Yeah.
But if it was the end, setting up Michael and William and all that wouldn't have really mattered.
Yeah. Well, setting up William would have, not Michael though, because Michael didn't even really exist. He was just older brother.
Yeah, but then the issue with if you believe it was setting up William back then is people thought the murders had already happened because the pigtail girl mentions that the animatronics come to life at night. Like, obviously now we know that it didn't because the murders happened in 1985, but back then it didn't make much sense.
Yeah. I forgot about that girl.
I don't blame you.
We thought was baby was just a random kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like FNAF 4 as a game. I like the story it tells in its own condensed setting.
Yeah.
It's when you try to connect it to everything else is when it falls apart.
Yeah. I remember because FNAF 4 was the first. FNAF 4 basically came out like right as I got into the community. I think it was like maybe like a month after I got into the FNAF community is when FNAF 4 came out. And I really, really enjoyed watching people play the game. And I really, just thought the game was really cool. And I still do. I still really like FNAF 4 as a game and the story it tried to portray.
Yeah.
And, I don't know. I just think the atmosphere of the game itself is done really, really well. In terms of ambiance and story, it's still really high up there for me.
FNAF 4 still has my favorite teasers before the game came out as well.
Yeah, those are good. I don't think there's humor. I mean, we can talk about the designs. I know people who always bitch about the designs. I still like them all. I don't.
Oh, I like the designs. I don't care if they're trying too hard or too edgy, like some people say.
Yeah.
I don't care. I think they're cool.
Yeah, I do too. There's still some of my favorite designs.
And I don't blame the people who thought the twisted ones would have worked better as Nightmare animatronics, though, because they are more fleshy and how a child would probably imagine nightmarish versions of the characters would be. But
my two things to say to that is I don't think Scott would have thought of that at the time.
Yeah, no, me neither.
I think he would just I think the most logical thing if I was him was to make just big, scary, nightmare-y, sharp teeth, sharp claws versions of them.
Exactly. Plus, the people who say the Twisteds would work better as the Nightmare animatronics, think of it as if it was just some normal kid having the nightmares. But, whether you believe it's Michael having the nightmares or back then when we just thought it was Evan having the nightmares, they actually know how the animatronics work and stuff, so it makes sense why they are more robotic.
Yeah, it does. I think I had another point as to why not the twisted ones. But I don't remember it.
Fair enough.
I think I combined both my reasons to I was going to say Scott wouldn't have thought of that, and it would make sense why they were designed the way they are, because from a story standpoint, it makes sense to make them just like the regular animatronics, but just sharp teeth, sharp claws, big,
Yeah,
tall.
yeah.
Um, yeah,
I like all of the designs for the nightmares. I love Nightmarion. The
yeah,
only the only Nightmare animatronic I think could have been better is Mangle.
yeah. I never thought about it, but yeah.
Fourth Closet Mangle works better as a Nightmare Mangle.
Are you just saying that because it's just Nightmare Foxy?
Because
But
it's literally it's literally Nightmare Foxy but recolored.
yeah,
And Fourth Closet Mangle actually looks like a Nightmare Mangle.
yeah. I mean, if you Nightmare fight it, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. I still really like the game to this day. I don't know. It just has a lot of positives for me, and I really
Yeah.
like FNAF 4 a lot.
Yeah, I like it a lot too.
Now,
The only thing I can complain about design wise, other than Nightmare Mangle, is that people thought, because people looked at Nightmare Fredbear and they just thought that Fredbear would just be really fat,
yeah.
and I
Well,
hate that.
yeah. Well, that's not really the fault of Nightmare Fredbear's design.
It's not. It's the
Nightmare
fault of the
Fred-
fans.
Yeah, Nightmare Fredbear's design as Nightmare Fredbear is great.
Yeah.
I always thought the stomach mouth was really cool.
Yeah.
It's but yeah. Um Now, sister location. I
It's a fun game. It's very linear.
I I don't I've said this many times before. I love sister location. It is my favorite of all the games. I think it did everything right, and I think it was the point in which Scott knew what he was actually doing.
I agree. I love Sister Location. I understand why some people think it's not the most not the fun to replay, just because it's a linear, unlike the others. But
See,
I can understand that. But I still like it.
see, my thing is like, it has like the new aspects, like the more like, it's way more story based, which I
It's got
love.
voice acting.
It's got voice acting. The designs of all the characters were so cool. I loved the designs of that game. Some of my favorite designs ever.
Yep.
Uh,
The big negative with it is Electrobab.
but I was gonna say, like, in terms of like it does have low replay value, but if you're not a fan of like the linear thing, but like there's always the custom night if you're a fan of like the original style. So it's like
Yeah.
there's
And can
something
we
for
just
everyone.
mention, it's got one of the greatest cutscenes of all time with Father. It's me, Michael.
Yes. Yeah. I don't know. It was just so much more cinematic, so much more like professional, so much just way better in every single aspect.
Yeah, for me,
Especially because of the just voice acting added so much to it.
yeah. For me, the only big negatives are like, you only ever really go up against Ballora once, and she's so easy to avoid. And then like the Bitty Babs, they show up once at the beginning of the game, and they're like, "Oh, we'll see you soon." Literally never shows up again.
Yeah,
It's just that some of the characters didn't get used a lot, but it's fine.
Yeah, well, to me, with like Ballora, I mean, the Bitty Babs are just whatever. They're minor characters, so I didn't really care about that. And then with Ballora, like she was still like prominent like throughout the game because the whole like Night 4 thing where she got boofed.
She got scooped, and
then
then like
in
Baby
95
lying about Ennard against Ballora.
Yeah, so she was still like even if she showed up like not that much, she was still like somewhat prominent. So yeah, I don't know. I think it was the first FNAF game I ever played. I could be wrong though. If not, it was the FNAF game other than Ultimate Custom Night, that I played the most.
Gotcha.
And yeah, I just love the game a lot, and I still do. It will probably be my favorite of all the games forever. Oh, I'd be surprised if another FNAF game beat it for me.
Fair enough. Yeah, I don't have much to say about it other than it's a great game. I liked all this. I liked the story. Pretty much all of it was an improvement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
FNAF 6. I have very mixed opinions on FNAF 6. Story-wise, it's spectacular. Like, A+ storytelling.
I love FNAF 6 personally.
I'm not a big fan of the actual like survival part of it. I don't know. Just not a fan of it.
What I don't like about it is you can be so close after spending like 30 minutes and then you die.
Like, I don't know. It's just I don't know. I don't like the fact that it's not time based, and like I know people complain about not being able to see them, and it would be cool to see them, but it's like not a big deal to me. It's more just the fact that it's like time based or not time based. It makes it, which I just found the game impossible. I always got stuck. I couldn't get past like the second.
I don't blame you. It is hard.
I think the farthest, maybe I got past the second night. Maybe it was the third night that I couldn't get past. I don't remember. It's been like 4 years since probably 4 years, or like 5 years since I played it. I don't know how long it's been, but it was like a bit before Custom Night that I played it, and it was just, yeah.
Hello, I'm back.
Welcome back.
I just realized we kind of skipped over FNAF World.
Oh, well, it's not a main game, so
Fair enough.
it's like how I'm totally gonna skip over AR because it sucks and it's not a
Oh.
main game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not a fan of the the night section, but I actually quite enjoyed the actual pizzeria simulator part of it.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like just the
I do wish Scott would have made the endless mode after Ultimate Custom Night.
and I also I like the salvage room bits. Those are cool.
The salvage room bits are awesome.
Yeah. I really like designs of all the characters. I think they're all pretty cool. Yeah, the only thing I really don't like is just the in-night section. I thought was way too hard, and I didn't like that it wasn't timed. It was like task-based, and I felt that was a little too hard for someone like me.
I think it is hard, but I still like it even though it is.
Yeah, I just couldn't do it. I found it impossible for me personally. So.
I don't think I ever actually beat FNAF 6.
Yeah. Well, I guess next would be Ultimate Custom Night.
Yeah.
That one's a hard game to talk about.
Yeah, that one's hard to talk about because, like, there's not much story. It's mainly a just for fun thing. Like, there is story to it, but
it's not much.
It's not like in the game itself. It's more like you just gotta put it together.
Yeah. It was a very strange game, but a very fun game. I personally loved Ultimate Custom Night. I just it was the first FNAF game I went into like myself before watching a YouTuber play it. And
yeah,
I was really great at that game. I just had a lot of fun with it. There's not really much to like critique about it. It's just really just solid game that is a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is a lot of fun, and the story that it did give was cool. that the anime cutscenes were weird.
Yeah, when I saw those for the first time, I was like, what in the titty chungus?
And I love Fredbear.
Yeah, that was cool to see.
People complained about Fredbear just looking like regular Golden Freddy, but I've gone on rants about how they were dumb for expecting something otherwise. So
Pretty sure we talked about it on the podcast, so we're not going to do it again.
I think we did. Yeah, you're right. We did.
I'm almost positive we did.
Yeah, we did. We did.
Well, we only have 2 games left: Help Wanted and Security Breach.
Well,
You have way more experience than Help Wanted.
I was gonna say your
So,
opinion on
go
Help
ahead.
Wanted is going to be very.
Here, I'll give a very, very quick opinion on it. From what I've just seen of just people playing, because I remember I played it for an hour, but I don't remember anything about my experience of it. It's more just me watching, YouTube videos, or actually, no, it's less than me watching YouTube videos. It's just more just watching people I knew play it. I don't know if I watched any YouTube videos of people playing it. If I did, I don't remember. Most of my experience is watching, was watching friends play it, and I don't know what to think of it. I don't know. I found it a very strange game. It was very different. I still don't know how to feel about it. Visually, not a fan of it, but I think it gets the job done at least. I don't know. It's so much more different than any other FNAF game, so it's kind of hard to say anything about it. Especially because to me it didn't really have much of any story to it other than just, I don't know. I feel like the story could be explained in 4 sentences.
Still has more story than Ultimate Custom Night.
Well, yeah. But I don't know, it's just so different than any other game. And I guess, yes, a lot of the games are, and the past few games have been different than any other game, but still. I don't know. It just doesn't, I don't know, because there's no sort of linearness to it. It's just, you click and choose what little game you want to play. There's no order to it. There's no rhyme or rhythm to it. It's just, you click a game, you play it, and there's 50 different games to play.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's all I can say about it. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, for me, Help Wanted is very good. It is a fun game. I love it. It is the only FNAF game that I want to poop my pants at when I play it. And just so you know, Finn has not played it with a VR headset. He played flat mode for 15 minutes. So I've played it with a VR headset.
And also, I'm too
for an
poor
hour.
to afford a VR, so...
Yeah, I have a VR headset, so that's why it makes me want to poop my pants. And Glitchtrap is one of the coolest characters in the series for me. He is the perfect representation of William, in my opinion, based off of how William acted in the books. And I love the story that Help Wanted was telling with, it's very meta, just hey, you're actually playing an in-universe VR game. And it was cool. All of the Tape Girls tapes, Jeremy cut off his face, and, I got a little distracted. Hold on. Jeremy cut off his face, and the company isn't questioning why things are going weirdly, and who the heck gave us these boxes of old animatronic parts and all that, and then just William trying to get Jeremy to become part of his cult. It's my dumb way of explaining it. And Jeremy's like, ha, no. So then he goes after Vanessa instead, and then I just love Curse of Dreadbear a lot, all the hints to FNAF 4, even though it doesn't really help us, but it is very cool. I like seeing William dance by his own house, and just all of the mini games in Help Wanted are very cool. It is probably my favorite FNAF game.
We have very opposite opinions of this game.
Yeah, I was going to say, and just going to say, I very much disagree with Finn on the lack of story.
I just never seen much of anything to it. I don't know, maybe it would have helped if I actually watched YouTubers play it, but I decided...
It probably would have.
But it was at the point where FNAF was kind of dying down for me, so I just didn't bother.
Yeah, no, I don't blame you. But I probably would have if you had actually seen people play through it. I know Daka was live streaming it for like 8 hours every day or something.
Gotcha. Also, you should look in the podcast chat.
Yeah, that's why I was distracted a little bit ago. Hello, I do not remember you. I am sorry. I have the worst memory. I don't really remember anyone from back then. So it's no offense to you. Your name does sound familiar. That's all I can really say. Good song choice. Very good song choice. However, you see, the only friend I have that animates stuff anymore is Finn, and I definitely cannot participate, you see, because I'm way too busy. I've been working on this thing, the next episode of Vengeance, for almost a year now, and it's still so far away. So, yeah. And I doubt Finn would want to, because he just doesn't animate FNAF stuff anymore.
Yeah, I haven't animated anything FNAF in like a year and a half.
Has it just gone silent, or has my internet died?
No, I just haven't. I don't know.
Gotcha. Well, I finished what I was saying about Help Wanted, I think.
All right.
So next is Security Breach, since we skipped FNAF AR, yes?
Yeah.
Also, if something's being said in chat, I am not looking at Discord at this moment.
Yeah.
Well, you were there when I played Security Breach, so...
Yeah.
You want to go first? Because...
Sorry,
I don't know.
my mind is very distracted. I think it's also been an hour and a half, so I think I'm just gonna end it on this note.
Okay, well then, my last thing to say about Security Breach. People are too harsh on it. It is a good game. Yes, it has issues, but I imagine Ruin is going to be great. There we go. That's all I have to say.
Alright. Well, I cannot focus at all. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no, I don't know why. I just kind of... After I got distracted, my brain kind of just stopped working.
Yeah, I got distracted by something else.
Ah, gotcha. Yeah, I was distracted by two things. First, in chat, trying to remember who Insidious is, and second off, I was playing Ultimate Custom Night while we were talking about stuff.
Gotcha. That is surprising. Alright, well, I'm gonna end this here. Thank you for tuning in. If you're on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, all that goodness, and, yeah. You have any wise words, Shan?
Remember, a glizzy a day keeps the Shan Man at bay, and make your anime titties the right size. That's all.